6.2. Importance of learning English. English is a global language. There are around 6,000 languages in the world and about 1/6 of them are from India. English is one of them and it has become the global language. The importance of learning India English on the act that it is the most widely spoken language in the world. 350 million people use it as their mother tongue. English is used by 1,150 million people in 100 countries. People using their foreign language. Randolph Quirk rightly asserts, English is the language on which the sun does not set, whose users never sleep. It means, it is used in most of the countries in the world in the field of communication technologies, the press and the media. The growth of composite industry and business has brought an explosion of international marketing and advertising, and these cannot be done without English. David Crystal says, any language at the center of such an explosion of international activities would suddenly have found itself with a global status. And English was apparently, in the right place in right time. David Crystal 2003, English as a Global Language, Cambridge University Press pp 10. Surveys reveal that every 4 on the earth can be reached with English. It is the widely used language in international conferences and international organizations like UNO, WHO and UNESCO. English for trade and commerce. English is used for business. It is also a major language of international business, diplomacy, science and professions. Businessmen use English for correspondence at the international level and within India. Its role in the banks and financing organizations cannot be ignored. There is the need for English to be used in business in both public and private sectors. It is used in the railways, airways, hotels and hospitals. For international export and import, English has to be used. For advertisement of a product, English has become essential as if it adds to the quality of it. Covers, wrappers, sachets, containers of different articles referred English on them. Hoardings and banners for business advertisements need English. Thus, English is the language of business across the states in India and the world. English is a link language. English is the link language in India. India has multilingual and multicultural setting. That is why one cannot be monolingual in this country. It has 22 scheduled languages and more than 1,500 dialects. People cannot remain in one place for all the time. They need to go to different regions within our country for different purposes. They meet people around them wherever they go and communicate with them for different purposes. They cannot communicate with all only in their mother tongue. For example, if we meet natives of Vellore or Pondicherry, we cannot use our mother tongue to interact with them because they cannot understand what we say. Therefore, it is English which bridges the gap of communication between non-native speakers of different regions in a country like ours. English is an associate official language. English enjoys the status of an associate official language as recognized by the Constitution of our country. It is used in all central government offices, i.e. banks, post offices, railways, airways as well as in the central ministry. Non-Hindi speaking state governments communicate with the center in English. Official compliances, surveys, reports and investigations are made in English. It is an extraordinarily useful auxiliary language for communication to unite all the states and the center. India cannot avoid English. English for information and news. English is commonly used as a medium of communication of information and news. Emails, telex messages and telegrams are done in English. Citation of information is carried in English. Computer data are processed and stored in English. Television news is broadcast in English. Many newspapers and journals are published in the world in English. Approximately 68% of total publication is shared by English. India is the third largest publisher of books in English. Modern man cannot live without communication and news. So, importance of English cannot be denied in this field. The world has become a global village due to information technology has already introduced us 4G services on cell phones and computers. Internet. English is the most widely used language in the Internet. It keeps us updated with regard to news and information. We can browse the net and get any information we seek. It is the internet that serves the quickest means of getting any information. It makes us e-book tickets in advance for railways and airways and hotel services as well. English is the library language. English is known as the library language. It makes the people of a nation maintain the high level of their intellectual and scientific training and achievement. No nation can solely rely on its own share of social, cultural and technological inventions and developments. English empowers people of nations across the world to make progress in every field. Most of the books, magazines and journals on science, technology, health, education and medicine are published in English. It is the means of empowering people to read the best academic books and access the world offered by the internet, online library. People share their views, choose the best of alternatives for them and work to build up their family, society and the country. English as the library language is significant towards ensuring a more intensive experience and wider view of the world. English as the second language. English is the second language in our regional medium schools in our state. You might want to know what a second language is. A second language is one which is available in our society. We find English on roads, in institutions, offices, shops, theaters, etc. We use many English words like bus, car, school, hospital, jail, police, etc. in our natural language as if they belong to our mother tongue. English obviously finds a place on the covers of different products like oil, toothpaste, soap, which we use every day. In the context of India, it is used either as a second language or a third language in classroom. It is also available to some extent around us. So it is not a foreign language in the context of our country. German, French, Italian, etc. are foreign languages as they are not used and not available in our environment. Learning English is important for the sake of pursuing higher education in colleges and universities. English as the second language in school and college curriculum serves this purpose. English is the language of opportunity. English is the language of opportunity. Career prospects depend on our proficiency in English in many places. People with good level of proficiency in English can prosper well in education and job markets. Most of the jobs people apply for demand fluency in English as a criterion for qualification. In the private sectors of business being managed by multinational companies obviously need English. Those who know English well in addition to their professional courses can even get good jobs in India and abroad. They have fairly good sources of living and have better mobility. No one should be handicapped by ignorance of English which